Hey, what's happening, peeps? I appreciate y'all tuning in to today's episode. Before we get too deep in today's content, like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Tell a friend and tell a friend. I appreciate all the feedback I've been getting and keep it coming. Let me know what you want to hear more of so I can give you more of that going forward there as well. And so I got some content I think is pretty fire today. It was just on my mind and I wanted to kind of drop these jewels and hopefully you guys find some value in it as well. So we're kind of in that point in the year or that season. It's graduation season. And essentially, high school graduation, college graduation has really been happening and it's almost finished up. So congrats to everyone that just recently graduated. And so I'm with that going on, I'm thinking about, how can we set the generation, the younger generation and the individuals that are just ready to get into their professional career, how can we set them up for success, right? And so I've got 3 tips I'm going to drop today that I feel that I want to make sure you come in with the right mindset and you're thinking about this the right way as you approach your career there as well. So let's get right into it. The first one I want to just talk about is you are qualified, right? A lot of people kind of get concerned about they don't have the experience or, maybe somebody else has more experience or credentials, et cetera, et cetera. And here's what I want to tell the young folks entering the workforce, right? If you apply for a job and they interview you, they schedule you for an interview, they call you for an interview, they've just told you you're qualified, right? All they saw was the information on paper and they made a decision that based on what they saw on paper, you're qualified, right? So you need to step into those rooms, those interview rooms, those virtual interview rooms, phone calls. Hey, like I'm qualified. Like I can do this, right? I know it's going to be a challenge for you and something new, but you're qualified, right? So just take that out, take that mindset, throw that away, right? You are qualified. Don't get so focused on what you don't have and focus on what you do have, right? The next thing I want to just kind of focus on, a lot of people get in those interviews and a question that often stumps a lot of the youth is, tell me about your experience or what experience do you have in sales or what experience do you have in communications or various other topics here as well, right? And I need you all to really shift your mindset on that particular question or those topics when they're asking about your experience, right? Because you're focusing on what jobs I've had, right? And that's the incorrect mindset, right? What you want to focus on is what life experience you have in your life so far that connects to that particular job, right? So if this job that you're applying for is you're going to be on the phone all the time talking to people, and in your high school, at your college, right, you were part of student council or you had to do you did some charitable fundraising, right? Those are all things that you can talk about. Hey, I was communicating with people, or sports, that's another piece, right? You have teamwork, communication. There's a lot of things that you can talk about from your life, right? That'll transfer over to the job, right? If you did a fundraiser, you can talk about how you had to go out and make outreaches to individuals to raise capital, right? That's actually what you're doing. If you're fundraising, you're raising capital for a purpose that has a good endeavor. But like you got to change your mindset to think about what have I done in my life that I can pull from that ties to this particular job that I'm interviewing for and I'm interested in as well. Because you have life experience in some way, shape, or form that will connect to that job. So just think about that, right? If you're looking at the job description, looking at what's going on, think about, what you've experienced in your life that can translate over to that. If you say, hey, I don't have any sales experience, but you usually get in a lot of debates with your friends and persuade individuals, you can talk about that. Like, hey, a lot of my friends, pardon me, we get in, we have discussions and I typically will persuade them to do, kind of see it my way as well. So these are all things that will translate over there from your life that can translate over to your job there as well. So just think about that from that mindset there. The next thing I want to tell you all is to set a LinkedIn up, right? Set a LinkedIn up, get a picture, right? It doesn't have to be a full-on professional picture. Just get a picture that's nice of yourself. If you got just a professional dress, if you went to a wedding or something and you got a good picture there with nothing in the background, just a very clean picture there as well. But set a LinkedIn up ASAP. It is a great tool. I've dropped in previous videos about how you should be networking, how you should be using LinkedIn to network. It's a great way for you to get information about the job, find mentors, mentees. So check some of the prior videos. I think it was about a couple months ago. I dropped one about networking. There's a 2-part series. So look at that. But get a LinkedIn, have a professional pick. Use your full name, right? Don't use a nickname. So if your name is John Doe, but everybody calls you JD, that's not what you want to put on your LinkedIn. Don't put JD on your LinkedIn now. Put John Doe. Put your first name and last name on the LinkedIn. You're representing yourself in a professional manner, in a professional light there as well. And you want to represent yourself the right way as you're pursuing your career and building your career there as well. The other thing in terms of the LinkedIn, I want to make sure you do, if you're finding jobs that you're interviewing for, the companies that you're interested in, add as many people from that company to your network. Everybody should know how to set up a LinkedIn now in terms of you graduates. You all are kind of growing up in the tech world, but if you're not, you can go to YouTube University and get a tutorial on that. But set a LinkedIn up. I'm telling you, it's important. I'm telling you. And it's an easy way for you to get information. And one of the things that doesn't get talked about when you are applying for these jobs, recruiters will go look at your LinkedIn profile. And one thing that they're looking for is how many people that you have in your network that work at that company. And that's a good sign for them, meaning you might be friends with someone, you might not be, but it's just a good sign that they feel like, hey, you're taking a step to make an outreach to individuals at the company, and you're building up, some type of connection to the company already before you even have the job there as well. So definitely set up a LinkedIn. I highly encourage that for everyone, right? I mean, I know I'm talking to the graduates, but everyone, you should set up a LinkedIn. It's a great tool there as well. So we've talked about, just in terms of your mindset and thinking about how you can kind of explain yourself in that interview when you're talking about your experience, right? Because you have experience. Just take that mindset. I don't have experience, ball that up, throw that away. You have experience. You have life experience. Just translate that over to the job and how it applies that you're applying for there as well. The last thing I want to say is stay in touch with your classmates, right? People hear that statement, you're going to be you're actually part of the future leaders of the world. And listen, it is very true. People are going to work 20, 30, 40 years. So stay in touch with your classmates. A great way to do that from a professional standpoint is LinkedIn, right? But anyone that you feel that you had a good rapport with and you feel like, they have the right mindset, stay in touch with them, right? You never know when you can help them or they can help you later in life, right? So the person that's your friend now, or you didn't think, you didn't know much about them, but you had a good rapport with them, they may end up being the executive, the vice president, the CEO, and your ability to get hired may be depending on them. And so staying in touch with them is a great tool, and vice versa. They should be staying in touch with you as well. Doesn't mean you need to be buddy, but you can, sporadically check in with each other. I think it's healthy in that aspect of it as well. But stay in touch with people that you graduated with on LinkedIn, right? Because it's a better tool than people say, well, I'll just use Facebook. Facebook is kind of people's personal lives and things of that nature there as well. And LinkedIn is kind of the professional version of Facebook, right? And so use that LinkedIn tool to stay in touch. If there's something where you can stay in touch with them, in other ways, through alumni programs, meet and greets that they may have, football, homecoming games, things like that as well. Perfectly a good, another tool or resource that you may have, but stay in touch with people from your class, right? Because they literally are the future leaders of the world. So somebody's going to have to be president of the company. Somebody's going to have to be vice president of the company, HR, et cetera, et cetera. It may be you. It may be somebody that you went to school with. But if you keep that connection and that rapport built up with them, it's not going to be it's not going to be the only reason why you get the job, but it may be a contributing reason why you get the job there as well. So, I got those three I wanted to drop on you all. Hope you guys, found some value in that content. I appreciate y'all tuning in for today's episode. Yeah, I'm gonna keep them coming. Let me know in the comments if there's anything that you would want to hear me talk more about, or if it's even related to the topic today we discuss. If you want to hear more about it, let me know, because I want to continue to provide content that you guys find value in as well. So, as always, if I'm lit and you lit and we lit, so stay lit. I'm out.